So what we are going to learn today, we are going to learn Ansible, fundamentals of Ansible, basic Ansible, how Ansible works, and what is the advantage by using Ansible, and what exactly Ansible is, and why it is so popular nowadays, popular configuration management tool. So we are going to learn Ansible today. So what we are going to learn, and we are going to learn basics of Ansible first, then we will install Ansible, and we'll write some sample scripts. How sample is that? They're very simple and straightforward. So I'm gonna teach them how to get modules, and what could be the values for those modules, and how we are gonna implement configuration changes using automation scripts. Okay. So first of all, what is Ansible? Right? Ansible is a configuration management tool. What is configuration management? Let's say, for example, in your AWS, right? Now you want to make some changes to your instances. For example, let's say right now my instance has a tag. My instance has a tag called lifecycle policy, or for example, let's say env environment equals to dev, and I wanna change this. Okay, right now I have in env environment equals to dev tag, for example, and I want to change it to pre-dev, or I want to change the tag to, so we don't call that dev anymore, we call them stage. So I can just go here and change like that. What else if I have 100 systems? What else if I have to change the same thing for snapshots as well? What else if I have to change the same thing for AMIs as well? What else if I have to change the same thing for RDS resources, CloudFormation stack resources, and so many things? And also, let's say I need to add a user for this computer. Each time when I provision an instance, I would like to add a specific user for that computer, for that virtual machine. And what else if I'm provisioning like a 50 boxes for new application deployment? Should I log into 50 boxes and add, let's say, 10 users per server based on the requirement? No, right? What I will do, I will just, those changes are called configuration changes, the infrastructure configuration changes, or you can even automate infrastructure using Ansible. So those changes, right? Whatever we have done through console in the sense, this AWS management console can be automated. There are a lot of tools out there. You could do the same thing with a Chef, Puppet, or you could do same thing with a CloudFormation, or you could do same thing with a Terraform or Ansible, and you could even write Python scripts, right? But Python scripts are too complex, and I don't think they're recommendable right now, because with the modules, Ansible modules, they are pre-built softwares already. So let's say you pick a module, and that module has like maybe 100 lines of Python code already. So why you want to write a Python code instead of just to use that module and you're done, right? And I'm going to show you it's very simple and straightforward, not to worry about. And but there are a couple of things that you should know. How does Ansible work, right? Okay, you will have your whatever, you will have your systems, or you will have your infrastructure to manage, blah blah blah. But how you decided to work with Ansible? How does that work? So what is the model of Ansible, right? And let me go share my screen right now. Am I sharing my screen, guys?
Yeah, Ashni.
Okay, can you guys see my screen? Okay, yeah. So Ansible is agentless architecture. What do you mean by agentless, right? What do you mean by agentless? So if you tell something to Ansible, okay, if you tell something to Ansible, this is your for example, these are all your EC2 virtual machines, or this is your AWS environment, right? If you tell something to Ansible, it will straight away go ahead and make that change. There is no mediator that you can configure like a puppet or chef. What do you mean by that mediator? So if you make some changes through this automation script, right, this mediator will verify those changes, whether those changes are valid or not. And if he thinks they're valid, and if he can get approval from this infrastructure, then only this agent will allow to make those changes, which is very complex. To configure this agent is very, very complex. And Ansible, what Ansible is doing right now, this is completely eliminated that specific agent configuration. So Ansible doesn't need any agent. If you want Ansible to do something, it will go ahead and do it. But there is one thing, this Ansible, right? Ansible should have a permissions to do that. Okay. Let's say if you wanna create an instance or terminate an instance, right? You should have a permissions to do that, right? IAM user. Am I right or wrong? So the same way, if you want Ansible to do it on behalf of you, that Ansible should have those permissions to do that. How this is going to get those permissions? For you, and you have your username, password, account ID, and you logged in, right? You logged in and you have done it through management console. But when you create an IAM user, remember, when you create an IAM user, you will get access key and secret key. You will be providing that access key and a secret key for Ansible or Python or any automation script that you will work. That is the development, like a programmatic access. Programmatic access. When you go to IAM, when you try to create a user, and that will ask you, okay, whether this user need a programmatic access. Okay. And yes, we will have to provide that programmatic access so that the user will get access key and a secret key. You will be passing that access key and a secret key inside a script. So script doesn't have to depend on username or password. As long as the script has access keys and secret keys, it will go ahead and do that operation for you. Let's say you have a 50 servers, 100 servers, 1,000 servers, it doesn't care. But you need to filter them based on tag or based on application name, based on, you name it. You can filter you with your requirement, basically. Does that make sense? Are you guys with me?
Yeah, Ashnu.
Behind the scene, how Ansible will connect to this, right? How it will connect, like we need to know how this will connect and how it will do operation. So Ansible will connect through port 22. Can someone tell me what connection type is that? That's SSH connection, right? Port 22. So what Ansible do? Ansible will SSH into those machines and do operation. What about AWS? Right? Is anyone know what is API call? API call?
Client to server call. Like,
Exactly. So,
Application platform interface.
yeah, exactly. So what Ansible do is, like when I say API call, right? Let's go ahead and let's give you some example for that API call. Let's say I'm going to book a flight, and let's do Google Flights, right? Google Flights, and I want to go from all the way Atlanta to maybe Sydney. Okay. Sydney, and oh, that's fine. I don't even care about all those dates and everything, right? But so why I can? This is this is like a 678. Wow. Anyway, that's out of topic right now. So what it is doing? Let's say I did select this one, right? Now I'm gonna book a ticket. Okay, I'm gonna book a ticket right now. Let's continue with American Airlines. Right now, I'm navigated to American Airlines website. Right, you see that a.com book. What this Google Flights server is doing is the Google Flight server making an API call to American Airlines. Okay, to get those ticket details, and once everything is ready, to provide that the information to that. You need to book your tickets, right? This is an API call. So now the Google Flights application is making an API call to American Airlines application. Basically, that's an API call. Are you guys with me? The similar way, when you try to access Amazon Web Services resources, you would have to make an API call to AWS. Basically, let's say, for example, let's say you're trying to create an instance inside AWS, right? So what you need to do, if you are doing through script, right? If it is a console, you just log in, put your username and a password, blah blah blah, done. But when you're doing through script or whatever, you are making an API call to that AWS interface first. AWS application interface, okay? And you made an API call through port SSH, done. We are good. Now, in order to do that, okay, you made an API call. Even I'm trying to log in from HTTPS, right? I'm trying to log in from browser. What I need to do, I need to have a username and a password in order to log in. The same thing, the script is doing the same thing. The script is trying to log into your AWS interface, making an API call. By making an API call and trying to access the resources inside an API call. How it is doing? It is doing through port 22. This Ansible is making an API call through port SSH to AWS interface, and based on that IAM user credentials like access key and a secret key, based on his permissions, that IAM user, he or she, based on their permission, and this will make changes to our AWS infrastructure. So Ansible is not only for AWS. You could provision resources, on-prem resources, you could provision Azure, Google Cloud, you name it. You name it. You could do a lot. Ansible is a Red Hat enterprise, Red Hat product. Okay, Red Hat own Ansible basically. Okay, so it has modules like for all cloud platforms and on-prem platforms as well. Okay, are you guys with me?
Yes, Vishnu.
Okay, so now let's go. How does that work? Okay, and what I'm going to do first, I'm going to install Ansible on EC2 instance. This is my EC2 instance. And what I want to do, I want to create a user. I don't want to run everything as a EC2 user. So what is the command I should use? I'm going to call Ansible user. Okay. Ansible user. I can provide password for this user. Okay. And now I'm going to add that user to wheel group. What is the command? Can someone tell me? Sudo Can someone tell me what?
chmod.
Oh, that's nice. That's pretty straightforward. Chmod or user mod?
Oh, sorry, user mod.
Okay. User mod.
-A-G
-G.
to the wheel group,
Okay.
Ansible.
Excellent. That's a straightforward. Now I have added to Ansible user to wheel group, right? Let's go ahead and switch Ansible user. Okay, let's go ahead and install Ansible. So I know how to install Ansible, but I don't wanna make any changes, like I don't wanna fire any run command. What I will do, so what is this mission? So instance is just a nothing other than operating system. Operating system is everything. Like if I want to do something, and what I will do what could be those commands for that specific operating system. So now let's go here, install Ansible on not EC2. I'm going to say Amazon Linux, because EC2 can be Windows EC2, can be Red Hat Enterprise EC2, can be CentOS EC2, can be SUSE EC2. It can be anything, right? You can provision EC2 instance with all those kind of operating systems, but each operating system has its own specifications, right? I would have to very specific, okay, what computer is it? What should I do on that computer exactly? Okay, and Amazon Linux 2, not even 1. So there are 2 flavors of Amazon Linux, version 1 and version 2. So now you see that now I've got, just update your all packages, just install and check the version. Straightforward. Let me go grab this command, right? And we just provision that server, so I don't think there will be a change, but okay. Okay. Now let's go ahead and install Ansible 2, right? Are you guys with me? This is how you should troubleshoot. If you want something, if you don't know something, right? This is the way that you can find it, because everything is not predefined. Nowadays, this is changing, the quality is changing, and today is not same as tomorrow. So today is Ansible, and tomorrow is something else, and after tomorrow is something else. So you cannot depend on someone for the rest of your life, right? And that's not good. Even not only with the professional work, even personal work. If you think, okay, I'm gonna need this energy for a certain period of time because I have these many responsibilities, what you need to do, you need to work for it and you need to get it done. So that's the way it should work actually, for now. Later, I don't know, but for now. For at least next 10-15 years, I guess. So let's verify whether that Ansible installed or not. Okay. Let me do something like this. Let me clear my screen. Ansible. Okay. --, version. You see that? You see that? So Ansible 2.9 has been installed. So when I run this command, you see that. So these are the, you see that. So these are the available flags that you can use with that Ansible command. That's what it means. These are the all available. I did use -v, right? And there is no flag available with the Ansible like -v. So instead, it gave me like, okay, these are the flags that are available. Pick one of those. That's it. And I choose this one, -, version. I want to check the version, right? Everything will be there. Like in Linux, that is the advantage with the Linux. So if you are a Java developer, a Python developer, you won't see some logics. And to identify those logics, you would have to have a really very good experience in the past. Like then only it will be possible for you. But with a Linux and with the operations and with automation, everything will be there. You will get everything on the machine, or on the documentation. That is the advantage actually. And now I want to create a simple playbook. Okay, to create a file, I want to create a simple playbook to create a file. So first, Ansible uses YAML syntax, YML, like a text file. Text file use what format? .txt format, right? Okay, so Ansible uses very simple format called YML, and let's go ahead and create a simple YML file. Okay, create file.yml. Ansible uses this format. Okay, and so the first letter, the first line inside an Ansible playbook will be 3 hyphens. Not only Ansible playbook, that's the YAML syntax. The first line is 3 hyphens on the top. Next, we need to tell Ansible where to run the script, and those scripts, like those specific area where you need to run the script, can be called as a hosts. Okay, but I'm not running this on any specific server. Okay, and I want to run the script, I can just run local. By default, a host is a local host. And if you have a web servers, database servers, if you have any servers like a remote servers, and you would have to add them to a specific inventory, and you will have to provide them here in the host area so that you can run those playbooks actually. Next, each operation that you want to do can be called as a tasks. Okay, now what I want to do, the first task, can you guys see that indentation, right? You see that? So I have 3 hyphens, came down, gave 1 space, and I have 1 dash, and I did provide the host where I want to run this playbook. Now, right under that H, I've started my tasks. Okay, now whatever I'm going to write, those belongs to tasks. So I did use 2 spaces inside dash. I'm going to provide simple name. I can say create a file. Okay, what is the command to create a file?
Touch.
VIM create YAML file.
No, so touch is the command to create a file, right?
Okay.
What is that touch? What command is that?
It's a Linux command.
Yeah, so it's a shell command basically. Yeah, it's a Linux command. It's a shell basically, bash, shell, command, Linux. Everything is kind of pretty same. Okay. Now, in order to do any Linux operations, you can use shell module. Okay, shell module, and what you are trying to do, touch, and after touch, what you will do? File name, right?
File name.
txt. Now, let's go ahead and save it. The command to run this playbook, Ansible-playbook, and a file name, Ansible, like Ansible playbook name. Okay. Now let's go ahead and verify. You see that file name.txt has been created. even in the output, right? You see that this OK2, that means how many tasks that you have? Just one task, right? The one is localhost. You see that? Okay, localhost connected to localhost. That's what it means. And the second one is, okay, create a file. That is the only task that we have. Okay, now 2 is okay. There is no issues. 1 is changed. This is the place where it's changed. Changed means the task has created a file without any issues. Now there is no failed tasks on this playbook. Basically, this is the output example. Okay, now let's go ahead, and I want to add one more task. I want to add some content to that file. You can, this is name, you see that name, just identification purpose. It doesn't do any operation, but actual what will do operation is this one. The shell Ansible module will do operation. This is for just a purpose, and I'll show you what purpose we use names. You see that all tasks will go under same umbrella. Can you guys see the indentation that I'm using? Indentation is the only thing very, very important in Ansible, and which is very easy. There is no syntax. It's very simple, straightforward, like not like a other programming language like a Python or Java. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use shell command. How I can add a text to a specific file? This is so much fun. Okay, but I want to add this to file name.txt, and I can go ahead and save this one, and I can go ahead and run again. Do you see that? So create a file, that is the first task name, and add content to the file, that is the second task name. Let's say, for example, playbook failed here, right? Let's fail this playbook. Let's fail this playbook, and let's go ahead and verify the content first in that file. Okay, let's go do ls. The content we just add should be in this file, right? Am I right or wrong?
Yes.
Okay, let's go ahead and verify that. You see that this is so much fun, right? And what is the advantage by providing that reference name? And let's go ahead and see that. Okay. Let me do wrong indentation. Let me run this playbook and let's see the error. You see that add content to the file. This is the place where you are getting error. Clearly, it is as clearly it is showing us, okay, this is the place you have error. Okay, let's go ahead and fix that error. Shubhad, are you with us? Are you with me? Okay, let's go ahead and change that one. Okay, and we just changed it. Now let's go ahead and add one more task to install Apache. Okay, and what is the command to install Apache?
Sudo yum install.
Okay, I'm going to use sudo yum install httpd -y, right? And in the next task, once you install Apache, you need to, what you need to do, you need to start and you need to enable, right? Name start Apache, right? What is the command to start any service?
sudo yum start.
To start the service, what is the command?
Enable.
Yeah, enable, but what exactly the command? What is the Linux command to
Yum.
start any service?
Sudo enable systemctl.
Systemctl.
Start httpd, right? Then name enable. Sudo system
Enable.
enable httpd. Okay, let's go ahead and run this playbook and let's see what happens. Ansible -playbook. Can you, so did you guys identify this? Actually, I have a -y here. Can someone tell me why I had the -y over there?
So while installing, it will ask for yes or no questions. So instead of avoiding test or questions, we need to give a -y there.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. Okay, so to escalate that point, right? Because inside the script you cannot ask, right? How you can ask? So Ansible playbook create. Okay, sudo password for okay. Now let's go ahead and verify whether the Apache installed or not. Okay, let's go to that box. You see that S, we don't have any secure layer. So it's just, you see that Apache test page came, right? How simple is that? Very simple, right? One script and done. If you want to install Apache on 100 servers, you're not going anywhere. You're not even logging into AWS. You're not even logging into each system using SSH, right? You can use simple script from the place where you are right now. Okay, I can even add content to this file. Okay, let's see how I can do that. So what I'm gonna do again, so what happens, Vishnu, if it is already installed, is that everything is installed? What happens? Let's say you're going to run the script again, but Apache is already installed, and let's see what happens. Okay, that's going to get me an error.
Oh, one more space, Vishnu.
Exactly. Oh, nice. Exactly. So deploy HTML application, right? Shell. I'm going to do something like this. Or what I will do, sudo CP. I can copy. I can copy. I can give any file name. For example, front end .html. Where I want to copy to index.html. Okay. So, can someone tell me, is this script is going to work or not?
I don't think so because we don't have that file, right?
Which file?
Whatever you said, you copy, right?
Yeah. So
The
let's
front
go
end
ahead and
of
create that file. Yeah, let's go ahead and we don't have that file, right? We need to create that file. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and create that file and let's see.
Vishnu, instead of creating the file, why can't we just copy the content what we created here, right? The file text, something like that.
Yeah, but that is not HTML file, right? Yeah, you can do that. You can even do that. So this is file name.txt to index.html. Okay, let's try. But that's not HTML file, right? Are you getting me, Rani? So this is HTML. It's gonna, when you copy HTML file, right? Okay, let's see what happens.
So why can't we copy the TXT file only?
Okay, let's copy text file. So that front end application should be in any one of the front end format basically. It can be like HTML, PHP, or JavaScript or things like that. But let's go ahead and do this, right? Ansible -playbook. Okay, done. Let's go ahead and verify what we got there. This is so much fun. You see that? Our application has been changed to this is so much fun. Are you guys with me?
Yes, Vishnu.
Any questions, any comments till now? Let's go ahead and create 10 files using single script, okay? This question was asked in one of the interviews, like most recent interviews actually. So I was so surprised by the answer, but okay. I'm very simple. So how I can create a 10 items, like how I can loop it using loops, right? But if loop, if or for loop or while loop, do while. Here you will see loops are how simple actually. So Vim loop.yaml, let's say loop.yml. Okay. What are the first line that I should use?
3 hyphens.
Then hosts, local host, right? And I'm going to use tasks. And I'm going to use first task and what I need to do and some name and create 10 files, right? 10 files. So what I will do, command module, I can use command module. I can use the same thing actually, touch. So this is how we create 10 files basically, not 10 files. This is how we pass the item, but where I will pass the item, right? I can do something like with items. In the with items, I can provide 10 file 1.txt, file 2.txt.
Can't we write any condition here, Vishnu?
No, that's it. Let's see whether it's going to work or not. Okay, file.
I mean, like if you want to create 10 files, you are giving like manually, right?
Yeah, this is the. So yeah, this is the file 4.txt. So what this is doing is this is executing this command touch and item. How this item will be coming is this item will be coming from this loop. Basically, you see this with items, it's gonna go one at a time. And let's create 4 files, right? And let's see what happens. Ansible. Are you getting me, Ramya?
Yeah, Vishnu, but if you want to create like n number of files, this is not the good practice, right?
Yeah, but yeah, n number of files is, I don't think n number of files exist, right? In the real-time scenario.
I mean, like not only for file, I mean, for
Yeah.
creating the environments or something like that. If you want to create some n number of files,
Yeah.
or something, whatever.
Yeah, so that should be predefined basically. So there is no like a n, honestly. So when you are saying something to your script, what your script is going to do, because you are not sure what exactly you need, right? N number of means like what that n number does, how this is helpful.
For
to you.
example, Vishnu, if you want to create like 10, 15 is okay. But
Ah.
if the number is like more than 15, so we need to type a long list, right?
Yeah, so that creating files, right?
Mhm.
Those in real time, those files has some valid content, and the names and everything already predefined. For example, when I said that, what those files will have, or like what exactly that files will do, right? And let's go, and if I open macy's.com, right? And for example, this home,
Mhm.
if I click on the home, this is the content. The whole content is coming from a specific file. This bed, bath, kitchen, dining, all these things coming from a specific file basically. In the similar way, the shoes, handling, everything is a file. Maybe HTML file or JavaScript file, like that is the content basically. So the content is coming from a file, and people create that number of files already predefined. But I'm just trying to explain the example how to use loops.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. And let's go ahead and use. Oh, that's simple, straightforward. Let's go do ls. You see that file 1.txt, file 2.txt, file 3.4, which is very simple, right? Very, very simple, right?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions till now?
Vishnu, there you said command, right? When we are creating lot of files, we need to say command because before we did shell kind of thing.
So
Here you did command.
you can, let's try.
Mhm.
Let's try.
We need to use echo, right?
No, actually, I'm trying to create a file as well. Actually, that's what I thought, but I was gonna add some content to that file, but I want to see that shell will work with the touch actually there.
No need of giving echo with shell.
No, shell is also shell command, like Linux command. You will be providing Linux command for shell as well. This is a touch, is a Linux, it's a shell command. Touch is a shell command basically.
So Vishnu, can I use any commands here like Java command or JavaScript command, any commands here?
If that is a shell command, of course, yes.
So based on the module, we need to select the commands.
So based on the commands, you will use the module.
Oh, okay.
That way. Okay.
Mhm.
Now let's go ahead and run this. It's working. So let's do
So there is no difference.
there is no difference. You can use either command or command. When you're saying command is, it's a shell command only. Both modules does pretty similar job actually. Now I want to add content to all these files actually. Okay, so can
Vishnu, one second. What happened right now? You just run the playbook with 5 files, and again you went back to and you change the file names, and again you run the playbook, and again 4 more files are created, right?
no, so I changed the module basically. So earlier, what I did use the command module here, and now I changed the module. I use shell module instead of command module. And are you with me?
Vishnu, did you change the numbers in the
Yeah,
first
because-
step and second
Change the
step?
numbers also, right? The
Yeah.
file names.
Yeah, because those files already exist, right? File
Okay.
4, file 2, file 1, file 3. Those files exist already. So I would want to see whether this shell module is going to create a new file or not. If the file is exist, okay, let's run the same playbook again. What we'll see, okay? Because those files exist, right? Are you guys with me?
Yes, yes.
Now
Yes.
those files exist, and I would want to see what happens if I run the same playbook. Let's do again, same thing.
Maybe redundant.
There is no difference, right?
No,
There is no
yeah,
difference
yeah,
actually.
yeah.
It's the same thing. That's why I would want to change the file name so that I can see new files actually.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
Okay. And now let's go add some content to each file.
And the Vishnu name, in the namespace, you said create 10 files, right? We need to give, we can't give numeric numbers there. We need to specify TE and 10 like that.
No, you can do anything.
Okay.
It's just a name actually.
Just like a comment, name is
Yeah,
just like
so
a
the
comment.
name is like just a reference. It doesn't do any operation basically.
Okay.
Are you guys with me?
Yeah.
Right, and let's do, we're doing great, and I would want to see, okay, does this work? Let's find out.
Hopefully.
Let's find out. Let's go ahead and the cat file file.txt. We are doing great. You see that?
How about 6, 7, 8? So same content will be there.
Yeah, I think so. File 6.
Yes.
7. 8. Are you guys with me? Any questions till now?
So Vishnu, what if I want a different content in different files?